I'm Madhumita. I am studying in Chennais Amirta, Bangalore, and we're here to do a small interaction. And we hope we don't disturb you with a lot of questions. We have very simple and professional-wise questions. So,
absolutely no problem.
so I'll start with my first question.
Sure.
So we've heard a lot, and we've heard about this a lot, and they say hotel management is not for women. That we can't survive in a hotel with all the extra work and the schedule and stuff. So, how do you? What is your comment on this?
I completely disagree on this because being in the industry for some time, quite close to 16 years, I've seen a lot of women working alongside in my career path, and I've seen people working with us right now as well. And Hilton is known for not only Hilton, many companies for the matter have a percentage which has been dedicated only for women workforce. So with that pride, I say that women's would definitely have a great future in this industry. And the second thing is, as a woman, there's no limits for you in this industry to explore. So we have seen a lot of leaders coming up in this industry, a lot of leaders in brands like Marriott or Hilton or any other brands for the matter. Top positions being occupied by women force. So I think it's definitely an industry where women should definitely go for.
So I'm going to ask you some personal questions. My name is Jayant. I'm currently studying second year at Chennais Amirta, Bangalore. So Conrad is such a second luxury property by Hilton. So what is it like to be director of F&B in Conrad? How do you enjoy yourself?
So Conrad is, before Wardrobe we introduced in the brand, Conrad is the flagship luxury brand for Hilton's. And this is very closely associated with the family name itself. And this brand has been very popular for this legendary luxury service being provided across the world. So with 39 hotels in the globe, and I being a director for one of the locations, I feel very proud about it. And the most enjoyable things which I get to feel in Conrad is that you have no limitations. As a leader,
Yes.
you've been given a hand to explore things and experiment things. And I've been very almost been supported by my leaders. So hence, this is a great brand to work for.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
We'll be going towards a little bit of professional
Yeah.
questions. What are the qualities Hilton Group is looking for budding aspirants of CAH?
Okay. Not just Hilton, I think for any hotel brands, what we look at is with current transformation happening in the world, with a lot of impact from COVID and things. Specifically, we look at people, in the aspirants to be very, very patient. They should learn. They should have the thirst to learn things and catch up with new trends which is happening in the industry. So it's not the trend that you set today and it runs for the next decade. Your trend is going to be only survival for next 3 months or 4 months right now. So I think the major quality we look at is somebody who is very meticulous in learning things, somebody who has very good patience and a lot of patience within yourself. You need to drive things from your heart. If it's not that I tell you and you do it, it has to start from inside. So you drive, you get things out, you design a concept, you curate things, and you're being supported by your leaders. So for that, we look at somebody who is self-motivated within and has passion to drive things. So this is what we look at, aspirants like you all.
I have a question. I am a student personally, Claire bartending. So, how do you think if there's any other woman out there who is pursuing bartending or Claire bartending, what will be the career scope here?
In India, I think this has been a great boom right now. But in Bangalore, personally, there is restrictions in terms of women being behind the bar. But that is getting changed now. Recently, I've received an email from the bartending association or the government side asking for anyone who's interested who wants to become a woman bartender. We would want to negotiate or keep away the rules and regulations and wanted to encourage people coming up on board. So companies like Diageo or No, which is the biggest beverage brands, they started this kind of a scenario where they recruit lady bartenders who are interested. They will personally come and train you in the hotel and make you go to the competitions level, which is world class, and then you start your career as a fly bartender. So it's a platform which has been designed by the beverage partners across the country. So I see it as a positive sign where now women bartenders are also being invited and encouraged to perform.
What are the qualities or the aspects you look in for a woman bartender? Obviously, it's difficult right now.
Yeah.
So.
A person has to be very lively, being behind the bar, and they have to be very, very quick and someone who always learns things daily, and then someone who is very organized behind the bar and who could generate revenues. This is what they look at in terms of women partners.
Thank you.
So it's a common proverb, every boss started as a worker. So how would you like to describe your initial days as a hotel leader?
Yes, with your question, I think my career will match very well because I started as a waiter as well.
Yes, sir.
I had difficult times working for 18 hours, 20 hours a day, sleep 2 hours, 4 hours in a day as well. But having said that, whatever I've learned the most in that position.
Yes, sir.
So today I'm here with the knowledge which I've acquired is only in those early positions where I've spent more time at work
Yes.
and where I have to perform to get something or to achieve something in life. So I feel that's the best way to start a career.
So how do you maintain your work-life balance? Many of them say like, oh boy, you'll just waste your time in hotel, you don't get any leisure time. So how do you like to
Yeah.
balance this?
Especially with the F&B department as
yes.
such, people think that we are want to live in the hotel for most of the times.
Yes.
But I differ here. I used to do this.
Mhm.
As I said, initial phase of my career was this much.
Yeah.
Until I became assistant director in the industry was also that I spent 14 hours a day. And now that I became F&B director, I don't want to say this, but I'm telling you, you can definitely manage things better. It is up to you how you develop your people below you. So you are very confident with them, and then they take over your shifts and all this. You can always have your time. It's nothing like that. You can't spend your personal life outside. Now things are changing. So likewise, I'm also spending good time. If you see my schedule in a week, Monday to Thursday, I don't spend much time in the hotel, but Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I definitely be in the hotel for most of the times. Yeah.
So do you think F&B is good for the growth, career growth?
So if you see most of the general managers in the industry,
Yes,
you either see a general manager with an F&B background mostly, or front office background, or third would be the sales.
So,
So,
what are you expecting for CAH insurance? What's the best to do as a specialization?
I strongly recommend food and beverage service or front office. These two streams will definitely fetch you soon in your career to become a general manager in the future.
There are new trends coming up in the F&B industry. What would you suggest students to focus on?
I think, honestly speaking, as I told you before, the trends keep on changing now. Previously, when I started my career, we used to have a trend where we run with the trend for next 3 years or 4 years. But now the things have completely changed. So we have to look for trends every 3 months, and we have to, understand the perception of the customer's mind. It's about reading what they wanted. So whatever trend you're looking for, it has to be aligned with what your customer demand is right now. So I personally feel every 3 months you have to look for new trends and keep changing things.
So what has been your biggest challenges here, working here, and how have you overcome it?
Okay, the biggest challenge I would say is during the COVID time where we had our staff members, the team members, rank and file, who are not exposed to this kind of transition in their career. I've been outside, I worked abroad, so I know that with limited workforce how to work and how to make the most productivity out of yourself. But in India or in this part of the world, team members are not exposed to those things. So when we had to downsize things or when we had to extract most productivity from the team members, they felt very different. So for that, during that phase of my career, I felt a little challenging, where I have to tell them what is the purpose, why are we doing this, what is the scenario happening around you, and kind of the impact which we have on the business, how to survive and recover. So this particular transition took some time for me to make them understand. So, but we are successful right now. We have almost gone past the stage and we are doing very well. So during that time, it was very challenging.
So during that phase, how was the staff taking care of you?
Yeah, it's very important to be with them, and we being managers, we no more sit in the offices. We were with them completely, helping them out in the difficult times. I think my team have seen me working on Sundays and Saturdays where I remove my coat and go clear tables and set up tables and get ready for brunch turnovers or evening setup for buffets and all this. So that's very important that as a manager or the leader to be spending more time with them to motivate them, and whenever we had time we also had some good fun between the team members. That's very important.
So I did a little research about you. So I go through your profile in LinkedIn. So and I overlooked you're a banquet manager in Shangri-La and Leela Palace. So many of our guys from ODC were telling banquets are too hectic. We have to hold the platter which is too heavy and we have to stand for 2 to 3 hours. So how would you like to, as a banquet manager, how would you like to ease this challenge? Why is banquet so important?
So when I started my career, when I gave my interview, people thought that time I was more good looking, so they thought I should be in the bar because I was very sharp, it seems. So they forced me to be in the bar. But whereas I always wanted to start with the most difficult part of my career. So I was after a year or two, I was requesting my female manager, please could you transfer me to banquets, which never happened. Because I was making revenue in the bar. So they said, okay, you be there, it's better for you. What's there in that side? It's just a hard job. Then later, when I became an assistant manager in the restaurant, and then when I started realizing that I have to go complete exposure in my F&B department to reach an F&B director or F&B manager in the future. So then I nicely curated my own career. I struggled hard. I took up a banquet manager job without even knowing anything about it. So the first wedding when I had, I screwed it big time. But then it was learning for me. And very next day, I started doing a checklist for every single event. But for example, day after tomorrow is an event, and I started doing checklists from today, every hour, what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's how I've done the event very successful. From there, I started learning it. If you ask me personally, since you've seen my career path, I spent 4 years as a banquet manager.
Yes.
I love to be banquet manager because I am very proud to say that I am handling a bigger department which generates more volume of business. End of the day, a banquet gives more volume of business.
Yes.
The kind of hard number of hours you put in will always be recognized because every person in F&B has to touch banqueting before you become a leader.
Yeah.
So banqueting will teach you how to forecast, banqueting will teach you how to manage bigger number of people. Banqueting will teach you or make you come out of your shyness when you do a big briefing in a bigger crowd. Banquet manager is something big. So I feel it's the best thing to be in. And I personally feel it's the most easiest to also do. As I told you, Conrad is the flagship brand for the company. Was the flagship brand before word of started being put in. To keep up the brand philosophy stronger in this country, we only have 2 brands in the country for Conrads. So it's very important for us to every action we do, we always think about the brand philosophy and brand image to be kept. So when we curate dinners, when we host a guest, we don't just do a basic day job or normal stuff. We always go beyond. We personalize things. We go to the details of the guest and we curate experiences around it. So that's how we have been doing for all the while in this company, and we've been very successful, and we've been known for making a lot of noise in the market.
We've heard a lot of them telling that you need to be strict and you need to know how to manage your staff when it comes to be a manager or a director of a department. So you told us that you were having good times with the staff as well. So was that helpful?
Yeah, strict is no more in the books anymore. If you're being very strict, today you will step out, there's another job waiting for you. The days when we started career, there were only 4 or 5-star hotels in the cities where you are in one of the 5-star hotels. If you leave the job, it takes much time to get a job. So right now it's not the scenario. The same city has about 60 5-star hotels, and then today you leave a job, next week you will be recruited in another company. So the attitude of the youngsters who's coming in the industry is very versatile. So being strict is not going to be helpful. Rather, I say that you teach something new to them, and they won't respect you back, and they will just blindly follow you. That's my mantra. You know what I do? I teach something which they don't know, so they look at me like, okay, yes, there's something to learn from this person. So they will stick with you. Plus, you have to be very emotionally connected with them whenever possible, whenever you have time. You should talk to them in that manner so that they're also with you. So that's the best way to take it forward.
So, which department, according to you, has the higher growth rate for you?
Personally, I feel sales, because that department has quick growth for ladies, especially when you can crack the big business deals and stuff. You're going to grow faster, and it's not that you want to take some time. You go way faster. The highlight is very, very flat and simple in that department.
Why not the other departments? Why this sales?
Other department will take some time. As I said, the hierarchy is very flat in the sales and marketing department. Where you become a sales coordinator, then you become a sales manager, then you become a director of sales, and then you become a director of sales and marketing. That's how it is. Whereas if you have to start from F&B, you have to start as a hostess, as a waiter, then become executive, then you become assistant manager, then become manager, then you become assistant F&B manager. Then it takes time to do. But it's a hardship. But sales is very much apt for women.
So about the trainees, many of our CHM students are already working there as trainees. So what do you expect the coming batches? What are the qualities you expect from the students?
So I think you all should be very happy and take some pride in working in this company.
Yes, sure.
And when you are here in this premises, you shouldn't waste any single minute. You should start learning and start observing things. There are a lot of things we see, we observe, and we take notes of it. So here, and not only me, I think most of the leaders here on the hotel are very, very helpful and very supportive when it comes to teaching things. So your team, your colleagues have to come and spend some time with the leaders, take some 5 minutes during the chat in the cafeteria or somewhere, or even the pathway when you walk by. They'll be very happy to teach you things. I personally feel you should be very observant and take notes and start studying and understand what it is. That's very important.
So about management training, like I'm too interested in F&B, so I want to take management training. Like, what's the criteria for it at Conrad?
There's no such big criteria as such, but then you have to be a defined person. You should be meticulous. You should be demonstrating communication skills very well, and you should be willing to learn things. So if you demonstrate these things, and if you align with our brand philosophy and principles, we'll be looking at someone like you.
Yes.
And hotel has management training programs happening currently. This year we don't have due to the impact, but we had a training program happen last year, and I think in the next year also we'll be having programs in Chennai. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
So what will the future of F&B aspirants in Conrad?
I think it's, as I told you, this is the strongest path, but then you'll be recognized a lot. The more you perform, you'll be recognized, and you can literally see a fruit hanging in front of you. So you perform, you get it. F&B is that you perform and you keep marching forward. And with F&B stream, you get a lot of career opportunities within the hotel and within the hospitality industry quite well. People outside always look for F&B professionals from hotels. So in that way, it is always a gaining career.
So it's a huge task operating the F&B as a director. How do you manage it?
It's very important. You have to prioritize your tasks daily, and as an F&B manager, it's very important you focus the next 1 week in your hands, next 10 days I would say. So if that is in your mind and you can prioritize and you can organize things very well, we should always keep in 3 things in your mind. One is your revenue front, one is your guest satisfaction and quality you deliver, and third is that how much you are being known, visible in the social pages. That's very, very important. So these 3 things will push your F&B forward. Yeah. That way we manage it and we will be very successful as well.
Sir, is bachelor's enough or master's is required for growth?
See, I've done my MBA as well. So when I did my hotel management, it was 3 years diploma which I did, because when those times it was told and proven that 3 years diploma is the most effective way to get into the industry and stuff, more rather than the degree. So then degree came in. When I was already in the industry 4 years down the line, then I was feeling that I don't have a degree with me. Then with 4 years of experience, then I started doing my MBA. But honestly speaking, I don't have an impact or any leverage having done the MBA. But I certainly feel now that being in this position after growing up, I can correlate my studies, my subjects, those theories with my current actions. So I wouldn't completely say no, but it is also important that some part of your life you should do your masters and correlate and apply things in your current designations.
Because we are studying bachelor's in management studies in hospitality and catering services. So is it totally required or can we do it later? So after
I think you should spend some time in the industry to understand the industry very well, and dynamics of the industry. Then you go on and apply in your MBA.
Okay.
Otherwise, you will be lost. That's all.
So last but not the least, how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
Pretty good.
Your work life ethic or anything about yourself? 3 words.
I'm not a hardworking person. How do I say? But I'll be there wherever I'm supposed to be there. Right?
Sure.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Chinese Amirta College has been phenomenal in terms of choosing their students, and then what we can see is the reflection of that in the industry when they come in for trainings here. The students are already been tempered, the way that they can observe things and they can learn a lot of things, and the willingness they show towards work is phenomenal. So I feel the lot of hard work which has been put in the college by the faculty has been reflecting in the industry. We can see that, and we being the hospitality brand have great tie with this college, and they've always been helpful for many stuff, and it's a mutual learning we do from the hotel and with the college. I think one of the best colleges to be for all the students to study and aspire. All these Chennai Amirta students are the future aspiring leaders in this industry. I wish them all a good luck. Thank you.